Come and join our love, it's so right. If you could feel what we feel now, you'd be.
Awakened Radio Network is brought to you by our sponsors. Visit and let them know you heard about them here on the Awakened Radio Network. Do you have health and medical problems the regular medical system cannot seem to figure out how to fix? If the answer is yes, then check out rifeenergymedicine.com. That is Rife spelled R-I-F-E. rifeenergymedicine.com for a new way to approach many of your health problems. rifeenergymedicine.com. Are you looking for a fun and easy and productive way to promote and advertise your personally owned business? If so, the Awakened Radio Network just might have the solution for you. Visit awakenedradio.net and look up under our products and services tab. Or add Awakened Radio to your Skype contact and send Donna Devane, the station owner, a message. Or you can add DonnaDevane@gmail.com to your email contacts and send Donna an email letting her know that you would like to set a time to go over how to advertise your business in a way that makes getting sales easy without the struggle and a whole lot of fun. Do you have a message, something that just burns within you that you couldn't stop talking about even if someone offered to pay you to? Well, you just might be the type of host that we're looking for here on the Awakened Radio Network. Add Awakened Radio to your Skype contacts or send Donna Devane, the station owner, a message, DonnaDevane@gmail.com. And let's set up a time to talk and see if you and Awakened Radio Network are on the same consciousness wavelength. We might can work together and provide a win-win where your message goes out on our airwaves, reaching our global listeners, bringing fun, self-growth, and a whole lot of excitement to both your life and the Awakened Radio family.
Welcome. You are now tuned in to Your Unfolding Senses on Awakened Radio. I'm your host, Rob Ragazine. This show is all about opening to and listening to your full intuitive capabilities. I offer tips and techniques such as meditation, dream work, and more for relaxing and connecting to your intuition. I'm on the air Thursday at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. This show is brought to you by intuitionbyrob.net, helping you to connect to your own inner wisdom. Please enjoy the show and invite your friends. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Rob Ragazine, your host, author, and explorer. This is Your Unfolding Senses. It's 10 p.m., October 24th, 2013. This is all about opening to your own inner wisdom, and we're all intuitive. On this show, we talk about the tools, techniques, and methods for centering, connecting inward, and learning to truly listen. Of course, always with a focus on helping you to find what works for you. Feel free to call in and ask questions or comment on what does work for you, or you can ask about tarot, numerology, dreams, self-acceptance, whatever we're discussing tonight. Tonight we're discussing fire, divination, and healing. You can join us in the chat room at awakenedradio.net. Click on the live chat tab, or join us on the air by adding Awakened Radio to Skype, or of course dialing 334-649-7204. I want to thank Susan Kern with Magical Life Playground, Desmond Green with Reverence for Life, and Donna with Healing Circle. All excellent shows tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Awakened Radio to listen to mine. And as you're listening, You can use this as an opportunity to suspend any doubt or disbelief that you have, at least for the next hour, and we'll connect inward, listen to our hearts, and begin to pay attention to what we've been wanting and yearning in our lives, and begin to find a space to allow that to happen. Gradually, the space can unfold in your life if you let it. And with that in mind, I invite you to take part in our meditation. Let's do a short meditation to help us better able to enter the space in which we'll feel connected to our bodies, minds, spirit, and intuition, and one in which we can understand how best to allow the healing effects, the shifting qualities of fire into our lives in a way that is safe, in a way that's healing, in a way that allows us to expand our connection to our own intuition. And you can bring a question to mind, as always. You might have been wondering about something all week. Now's the time to sit down and allow the answer to come to you. And as we're talking about fire, and you might light a candle, especially if you have one available, and you might ask a question such as, how can I connect to my passion, or what fears are holding me back? And then simply allow for a phrase, a sound, word, or symbol to come to you during the meditation. So finding your quiet space and sitting or lying down, making yourself comfortable, and closing your eyes. Begin to breathe slowly and gently, releasing any stress, any doubt from the day, breathing gently into yourself and your heart, letting your mind quiet and your body rest, letting go of any doubts or worries, continuing your breathing and feeling yourself filling with peace and tranquility. You may wish to bring your hands to your heart, bring your focus to it, and wonder, what has it been asking for? And as you continue to breathe and deepen, allow your awareness of your heart to grow and settle into the stillness that's growing around you. Feel all of your senses open and deepen, and know that this is a special place where you can clearly hear your own inner voice, however it speaks to you. Being mindful of how this space feels, and in this space you might ask your question and notice any messages available to you. Your inner ears might hear a word or a phrase. Your inner eyes might see a color, shape, or picture. Your other senses might pick up on other things such as a long-forgotten fragrance or a long-forgotten memory. Pay attention to these, and if you don't understand what they mean, ask for deeper clarity. Always allowing whatever comes to come, but if nothing does, that's okay. Don't force anything to happen. Don't think about what does come, simply let it come, resting in the stillness and the inner peace. This could be the very thing your heart has been yearning for. Notice how your body feels in this time of stillness, and breathe into the parts of your body that feel tight or stressed. Allowing yourself to feel the comfort of this space, knowing that you can come here anytime. Being grateful for it, and as we prepare to leave, acknowledging and thanking any messages that you did receive. And slowly bring your focus back to the room, gently opening your eyes, coming back to your body. This week, we are discussing fire, how to divine with it, how to work with it, learn about ourselves. And I have a quote from Ayn Rand. She says, "In the name of the best within you, do not sacrifice this world to those who are its worst. In the name of the values that keep you alive, do not let your vision of man be distorted by the ugly, the cowardly, the mindless, and those who have never achieved his title. Do not lose your knowledge that man's proper estate is an upright posture, an intransient mind, and a step that travels unlimited roads. Do not let your fire grow out, spark by irreplaceable spark, in the hopeless swamps of the approximate, the not quite, the not yet, the not at all. Do not let the hero in your soul perish in lonely frustration for the life he deserved, but have never been able to reach. Check your road and the nature of your battle. The world you desired can be won. It exists. It is real. It is possible. It is yours. So having passion for your life and truly connecting with that in any way possible. And as we're talking about intuition, some hints that will help you to better open up to that and open up to the element of fire. Always be comfortable, and maybe part of that is not meditating alone at first, so meditating with someone else. Respect fire in your life. That includes working with it, but also your passion, your energy, so to know how much is you're following your drive and how much you're just pushing yourself. So to recognize that, to become comfortable with your body, to become comfortable with knowing how much you're driven by passion, how much you're simply just pushing yourself forward, and take time to rest. Don't just consume all of your energy and then feel depleted and wonder why that is. So also letting go of any inner critical voice that says this is silly, means nothing to me. And notice any body sensations, asking yourself what they may be connected to, especially those that are fire related, such as tingling, prickling. These may be, or heat. These may be signs that something is sparking your creativity, something is connected to your passion. Also notice shapes and colors as usual, especially those that you push aside. And this week I've really been admiring the trees. I'm in the northeast, so the reds, the oranges, the yellows, although we're sort of already out of the season for leaves, I've really seen that they're very bright, they're very vibrant, they're popping to me. Sure, the trees aren't full, but the leaves are there, and they're very, very, very colorful. So just to notice that. Now, as we're talking about fire tonight, I want you to be safe, have respect for fire, as it's important. If you're underage, don't do this. Find your parents, guardians, or someone older and ask them to work with this with you. And if you don't feel safe or have caretakers, ask for help. So, firstly, we'll be talking about smudging. And one of the first things to know is don't leave anything that you're using for smudge unattended. So you could be using smudge or charcoal or candles, whatever it is, don't leave it somewhere where you aren't. This is about being conscious of your actions, being aware of what you're doing. Don't just leave the room and then say, oh, I had a candle in there and it was too close to the curtains and then poof, whatever. Don't do that. And really the main idea when we're smudging is to use the herbs to release their cleansing, their fragrance, their energy. It's not to fill the entire room with smoke, not to breathe it all into your lungs so that you're coughing and choking on it. It can be dangerous, can lead to asthma attacks and other respiratory problems. So if you're pregnant, you probably don't want to smudge. If you have young children in the room, you probably don't want to smudge. We're really looking just for a few curls of smoke from the smudge that you're using. Usually, we'll talk about smudging your home, and likely you have sage that's wrapped up in a bundle. So we're not just taking the stick and lighting it on fire and running through the home. No, we're lighting it and then dampening it out and using the light smoke, to clean and cleanse the room that we're in. And we're doing this consciously and with awareness, not just blindly doing it because we saw it on TV and whatever. So we're setting the intention to clear out the energy in your home, and that can definitely help with your intuition, connecting to your body, because now we're freeing up space within ourselves. Everything really is only a reflection of what's inside. So we're clearing up space within ourselves to connect with what is. Now, our ancestors, the Native American tribes really everywhere, used the sage, used whatever was local to them for healing, clearing space, ceremonies, and there's many, many benefits, many personal uses, such as settling yourself down, opening your space up externally and internally, recognizing, of course, that the outer world is a reflection of your inner life, and it can help you to step toward your spiritual or higher self. And the question is, are you willing to let go of your stuff? Are you willing to release and become empowered? Part of this, of course, is showing consideration for other people, especially when you're smudging in a populated home. So you might smudge once every season, so 4 times a year. Again, don't leave anything burning unattended. You may, if you have a container, put sand at the bottom of the container or something to prevent it from getting hot, so that when you're carrying it around to be safe, then it's not getting hot. So sand usually works. And just pay attention to how you feel when you're burning something, and select an herb or whatever you're using. Most people will be using sage. I like lavender. I like frankincense. So use something that's appropriate to you. Some people have reactions, allergic reactions. So you not probably want to use those, so just pay attention. And of course, you'll want to make sure that your house is well ventilated. You don't want it filling up with smoke and triggering off the smoke alarm. So, to begin the process of smudging our home, of course, if it's the winter time, you might not necessarily want to cool the whole house down. So you might start out room by room and open the windows when you get to them. And that could be a good idea. But in general, it might be helpful to just open the windows and allow them to be open while you're doing this. It shouldn't take more than 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. And of course, before you begin, you might want to have an intention to clear yourself so that you can be open and allowing and ready to smudge your whole house. Now, in the chat room, I guess Donna mentions that she sets off smoke alarms. Well, if that's what you want, that's what you want. So, we'll talk about the process of smudging now. And really, it's about opening up to yourself and allowing the best you to come forward. Now, when you're smudging your home, I like to start from the bottom to the top. Some people will do it reverse. Use it in a way that is best for you. But so you start in the first floor or the basement, clear that space, then move up to the next floor and clear that, and finally clearing the last floor or the attic and clear that. Now, if you're cleaning your kitchen or something else, now that I'm thinking about it, you probably were cleaning top down. So use it in a way that's appropriate for you. I always start from the basement and work up. But of course, as I was mentioning before, smudge yourself first, take a shower perhaps, smudge and clear yourself, then start from the base floor and work your way up to the top. And again, you probably want to smudge yourself when you're done. But if you're setting off smoke alarms, you've probably already smudged yourself. So it depends on how you smudge. And again, we're not burning the whole sage stick all at once. We're just enough smoke to clear the space so that we're not setting off the smoke alarms, and so that we're really, our intentions are helping to clear the space more than the smoke. The smoke is part of the ritual, the practice. Now, we'll talk about fire scrying with a candle in a little bit, but first I'd like to walk us through a meditation to connect with fire itself so that we can better connect ourselves to the meaning of fire in our lives. Now, if you're ready and you're comfortable sitting in your chair or lying down, we can do the meditation. So, closing your eyes, taking a few breaths, relaxing into the moment, and see yourself walking along a path and seeing a clearing nearby that feels familiar and it feels welcoming, and you approach. And as you approach, you feel enveloped and protected by the lushness of the plants and trees surrounding you, but the path and the meadow is wide and comfortable. And in the middle of the meadow, you see a large bonfire, and it feels inviting, safe, and protected. You approach the fire, feeling called for, feeling invited, feeling like this is just for you. As you approach, the fire appears to move with you, so you begin to walk around it, noticing it, appreciating it, seeing patterns within the fire, seeing ripples of energy move through the fire. But as you walk around the fire, you feel safe, protected, and at ease. It feels as if it was built just for you. Within you, you feel the stirrings of movement. You begin to walk faster or even dance around the fire. And as you move faster, the fire grows higher, and you begin to notice images, bigger images, images that are more clear within the fire. Notice what they are and allow them to be. Know that this is the way in which the fire communicates. Perhaps the fire itself or the images within are calling to something within you now. It might be that you feel a connection to a certain quality or strength. Fire can represent desire, passion, creativity, or release, and of course other qualities as well. Notice which ones are stirred within you as you continue to dance, walk, or leap. Feel these qualities strengthening and enhancing within you. You might even ask the fire how you can further develop them within yourself. Or you might ask how you can release something. You might, as you're moving, you might even place a small object representing something that you'd like to release into the fire. Continue to move and notice any further symbols that the fire shows to you. As you move, you may notice parts of your body that are holding on to anger or stress, and you can move closer to the fire to release these aspects. And the fire will not hurt you. You are safe here. It's here to help you with this process. So if feeling called to do so, you could move in and through the fire, feeling it cleanse your issues and helping you to release any trauma, anger, or pain. And after stepping away, continue to move with the fire. And when you're ready, beginning to slow your pace and thanking the fire. Thank it for its help now and throughout your life. And when you're ready, walking away, back up the path, back towards your life, knowing that you can return to the fire for answers or for releasing something or help with an important issue whenever you need. And opening your eyes, recording your experience, feeling better connected to fire. Now, we only have a few minutes until break, so we'll continue after the break with a candle exercise. So if you have your candle ready, that's great. We'll work with it when we come back, but make sure to take time to record your experience of the fire meditation that we just did. Fire can, as I mentioned, represent passion, creativity, letting go, the birth of something new. It's really about whatever is burning within you. So to begin to pay attention to that, perhaps you've been having dreams that are related to fire, and they might have seemed scary, so we can talk about that when we come back as well. And I'll leave you with, well, we're not going anywhere right now, but you can call in and ask questions about any dreams such as that at 334-649-7204 or at Awakened Radio to Skype, or come into the chat room and type into the chat questions about the element of fire tonight. Last week, of course, we talked about water. Tonight, it's fire. So awakenedradio.net, and click on the live chat tab, and you can ask us questions related to fire. And I had posted on Facebook during the week to have your supplies ready. So if you still don't have them, but you had gathered them, make sure to have your candle and your bowl ready when we come back, and we'll begin to work with them and hopefully connect deeper to our intuition and see how that works for yourself. So we'll do candle spraying, and we'll talk more about herbs, and we'll talk more about smudging and some other tools that you might be able to use in your process. So please do come back after the break, and we'll continue to talk about this and do the candle scrying when we come back after the break. Thanks for listening.
And now a word from the Awakened Radio sponsors. In 1993, the Einstein College of Medicine patented a blood electrification device to clean the blood of bacteria and virus droplets. The device was just too cheap and effective and was not implemented into standard medical practice in hospitals. See where that patent has led red tape. Check out forcemagneticpulsar.com. That is pulsar, spelled with an ER, not AR. forcemagneticpulsar.com. Have you taken part in the prosperity game at the Awakened Radio Network? Visit our homepage, awakenedradio.net. Find out how you can win prizes just by exercising your money muscle. A $1 donation gets you in the drawing every month for prizes that will blow your mind. Check out the prosperity game here on the Awakened Radio Network, awakenedradio.net. Are you looking for a way to get your name in print? Well, we have an answer for you here at Awakened Radio Network. We are publishing Thrive Evolutionary Consciousness Magazine the 20th of every month. If you would like to submit an article, poetry, or artwork, please visit our website, awakenedradio.net. Look at the top where it says Thrive Evolutionary Consciousness Magazine. You will find the information on how to submit an article, poetry, or artwork. There are also information there for you to advertise and get the word out in our magazine that reaches thousands of people globally at very affordable rates. Awakened Radio Network and Thrive Evolutionary Consciousness Magazine are working together with you for a win-win for everyone. Success is a lifestyle.
Welcome. You are now tuned in to Your Unfolding Senses on Awakened Radio. I'm your host, Rob Ragazine. This show is all about opening to and listening to your full intuitive capabilities. I offer tips and techniques such as meditation, dream work, and more for relaxing and connecting to your intuition. I'm on the air Thursday at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. This show is brought to you by intuitionbyrob.net, helping you to connect to your own inner wisdom. Please enjoy the show and invite your friends. And we're back, and I'd like to remind you about my website, intuitionbyrob.net. I've started to post the exercises there that I plan to do during the show, during the week, so it might help you to gather up the supplies that we'll be needing during the show if you visit and see what we'll be talking about this week. So I talked about candles and a container for them and whatnot, the accoutrements. So that's a good place to go, as well as my Facebook. You can go to the fan page, which is Your Unfolding Senses, of course, intuitionbyrob.net, and I'll have what happened last week and what's going to happen on the show there, as well as the Awaken Radio fan page. So there's multiple places that you can find the information about what will be happening on the show during a particular week. So please do feel free to go there, and you can also research past shows and experiments. And of course, we're trying something new at Awakened Radio. If you come to the forum, you can see our fan pages, and I have questions there where you can answer what you'd like to hear about on the show. So maybe there's something that you'd like to learn about. You can post in there and say, hey, I'd like to learn about this, and I'll talk about it. So feel free to go there and interact with us and be guided by us. Now let's talk about candle scrying. So if you have your candles ready, and if you have a safe container to put them in, or simply somewhere where they're not going to melt all over the place, we won't be doing this forever, but just be careful when you're working with fire. So having your candle ready, your lighter, matches can be okay, but sometimes they don't work very well. So your candle and your lighter and lighting the candle when you're ready, and taking a few moments to notice the flame when you've lit your candle. Notice how it dances on the wick. Notice how it changes colors. Notice how the wind shifts around the flame. And focus on the flame. Again, you can use this time to set an intention, to find an answer to a question, and hold it lightly in your mind. You don't have to focus on it, just hold it gently in your mind. And not close your eyes, but gently lower your eyelids so that they're half open, half closed, and bring your focus to the flame. And look between the flame and the wick and the not flame, the space in between those. And feel into that space and notice anything that comes to you. Any images, any feelings. You can record them if you like, but really try to connect to the space in between the flame and the candle. This is beyond the physical space, to silence, to spirit, something almost outside of time. And see what you notice there. Notice any feeling that comes up, any sense of spaciousness, what the light is doing. If you see any particular shapes, or how your body is reacting to this experience. And notice whether or not you feel called to blow out the candle, or you're caught within the experience of watching the dynamics of the flame and the space between the flame. And notice how spacious it feels. And again, with practice, you can bring this spaciousness, this expansiveness into your life. So when you're ready, you can bring yourself back to normal awareness. Take some time to record your experience of that. Take some time to continue experiencing that if you like. If you have any questions, again, feel free to type in the chat room or give us a call and tell us what you noticed. And in the fan page, I have an exercise that's similar to this, only we're working with the smoke from the candle. So feel free to go to the fan page and take part in that exercise. And in the chat room, Donna mentions that it's very still there. Yes, very still. And an opportunity to connect with that stillness and allow it to unfold in your life. It could be very healing, very releasing of stress, of tension, with the capability to bring in greater ease and peace. But know that this is all a reflection of what's inside, as I mentioned before. Now, we were talking about smudging, so I always recommend exploring your tools or your signs and symbols that come to you. So there's plenty of information that's written down, but since we're talking about our intuition here, I recommend meditating on any herbs that you would like to use as part of your smudging. So you can go and buy sage and meditate on it and see what the potential is for that, for you to work with in your life. I like to work with cones rather than the bundles because they're small, and I have a small burner that I can put the cone in and light it, and then the smoke comes out of the cone, the burner. And it's small, it's about, 5 or 6 inches high. They make them out of brass, so you definitely need some sort of plate to put the burner on to bring it around if you're going to smudge your home. And they also have hanging ones, so I guess you could, sort of like if you were in, Catholic Mass, and the burners they have there, you can, so it has a chain, so you can bring that around. Of course, with too much movement, they tend to blow out easily. So I mostly use the cones, but you can use the sticks. If you have a shell, a conch shell, they sell it inexpensively. You can use that with your sage stick and light it, blow it out, and let the smoke go through your room. Not too much smoke, as we talked about before. Certain people can have asthmatic or other lung-related issues, so make sure that you're okay with whatever herbs you've decided and set an intention to work with. So there's many different ways that you can work. You can use the cones, you can use the bundles, but make sure that they don't make you sneeze or react in some way. Some of the different incenses make me sneeze, so I don't use them. I pretty much use the jasmine cones or frankincense cones. I also found out about something new. Well, it's not new. It's Palo Santo wood, and I guess it's grown specifically to be burned. So you can use that as well, and it sort of smells a little minty, and they also make it in cone form, and powder form. There's also resins you can burn, and then you need to start working with charcoal. So I don't really recommend that if you're not comfortable with that. And in the chat room we have some comments, and of course one of the comments is the cheap stuff always aggravates me, so make sure to spend enough money that it doesn't aggravate you. You don't have to go and break the bank, of course, but if you're working with incense oils, the cheaper ones usually are not very good quality. So we weren't really talking about those, but that was in the chat room. So find something that resonates for you. Might be the Palo Santo wood. It might be simply the sage. You don't have to be compelled to simply use the sage bundle if that doesn't call to you. So I pretty much use the frankincense cones or other different types of cones that don't make me sneeze, that I can leave burning to help clear the room. And as I mentioned, you can use the shells that I sell. I believe they're pretty inexpensive. I was just looking on Amazon; they were like $7, so they're not too bad. You can use one of those. If you're good at working with clay or pottery, you can make your own little bowl and work with that. Something that'll be special for you. You can also have a feather. So of course, don't go out and hurt a bird just for a feather. best to find one and work with one that you found, or order one online or get it in a store, and of course smudge it and make it yours. So you can make your own smudging feather if you find like a turkey feather, but don't go get feathers from endangered birds or anything. And I talked about the burner, so it would contain your ash as long as you weren't moving around too much. And then there's the charcoal burners where you put charcoal in them, and you can use the more granular incense or different things. I believe people like using copal or other different types of things. And then, of course, the incense sticks where they have the little thin holders, and I never trusted those because I always felt that the ash is going to fall somewhere. That's my stuff, so don't let my stuff bother you. If you like to use those, go ahead. And, of course, remember that here, since you're burning something, the plant really is your teacher. And I think that's the most important thing. So if you're working with sage, to set aside time to meditate on it, connect with it, see what symbols it has for you. And if you're living in an area where the herbs are growing wild that you can burn, and it's safe to burn and safe to harvest, you might try that. But if you don't have experience with that, try to contact someone who does and learn from them. That could be a great experience. So typically we're talking about sage and cedar, but find stuff that's appropriate for you. Find the essences and the herbs that work for you. And you can get more complex. You can work shamanically and start to connect to the different directions, or you can work with a coven and start to do that kind of work or do prayer work. It all depends on whether you're going to do this alone or you start to connect with others. But of course, really, you're really trying to connect to your own inner self and not to connect necessarily to other issues, because then it's really about clearing yourself and whatever, finding a way to clear yourself in the best way that you can. So connect with the herbs that best call to you and find the tools that you enjoy working with. Now, there's some good clearing rituals that you can do on releasing or welcoming into your life new situations or something that you desire, especially as the new year comes into play. So you might try the following exercise as we welcome in the new year. It's a good exercise to do with other people because now you can see and reflect on what other people are talking about releasing. It's simply a fire ritual where you can more fully support yourself and your desire changes. So you might wish to have this be a special ceremony where you invite friends, or you can do this alone. The main purpose is to help you release the harmful or unhealthy situations or habits from your life. And of course you can bring new things in, which always happens when you release something, because now you have the space. So it might be good with friends because you can guide and support one another throughout the rest of the year and into the future. So, and it can also help you to feel connected, honored, and supported. And better way, if you set an intention for the year, you can have people that will follow up with you, so they can say, hey, have you followed through on your intention? Now, it's simply having a fireplace or a fire pit or some sorts of big fire where you can connect to the fire and release your objects into it. And of course you can light candles and have them in the area, and as it's cold in a good section of the country, you can do this indoors with a fireplace. And we're really talking about purification, cleansing, letting go. So simply having, if you're using a fireplace, you can talk about your issues, whatever you wish to release or bring in front of the fireplace, and then write them down and safely burn them within the fire. So setting an intention to release something, putting it in the fire, and letting it go, and having other people there to observe and be witnesses to what you're saying you'd like to clear from your life. And of course you can add different parts of the ceremony, that whatever is appropriate to you. But when you're finished, you can say some words of thanks to the fire and to yourself and out loud, and then you can sit silently with the group and allow the fire to burn down and away, knowing that your issues were consumed within the fire. And really this is representing on an internal level a deeper willingness on your part to do what's necessary to let go. So being willing and able to let go of what you asked to let go of. Now, it's not something that you would have just written down in a piece of paper in that moment. You probably would like to spend some time to prepare. So I'm mentioning this now because you have a month or two to prepare if you're listening to this in November or late October. And that helps us to see more clearly what issues we'd like to work on, what issues we'd like to release, what we might like to create within our lives, and have time to look at that for ourselves, and then step into the ceremony and let go of those issues that we'd like to let go of, knowing that the fire can clear them away, especially if we have the intention to continue to support ourselves in releasing this. And in order to continue your support, you can light a candle to remind yourself of the ceremony throughout the year, or throughout whenever you've taken part in the ceremony, and connect with the fire and know that it's been consuming what you wish to release, and providing space for new opportunity, new situations, new experiences to come into your life. And that's another way to work with fire. And it can, of course, you'll need to journal, and that's always helpful in any situation that you'd like to clear away or release. And of course, there are also sweat lodges. I've done a few of those ceremonies, and they're very helpful in that, again, it's a way to open ourselves up to what we'd like to connect with. And it's been a while since I've done one of those, so the experience isn't necessarily fresh in my mind, but if you would like to talk about that sometime in the future, you can connect with us here. But from what I remember, it's been, for me, it really showed me my connection to my own intuition, because I remember in one ceremony seeing the entire lodge, but it was completely black inside. So I didn't think anything of it until we talked about the ceremony the next day, and everyone was saying, well, it's so dark in there, and I was saying, well, no, it was bright as day, but no, it wasn't. So to really recognize your own experiences, I guess it can definitely help to relate what your experiences were with other people. Now, again, I'd like to remind you of the forum here at Awakened Radio. You can come to the forum, to my section, which is, I believe, called Rob's forum. I'm not sure of the whole name, but just click on Awakened Radio, click on the forum, and you'll see it, the section I'm talking about right there, and you can make suggestions about future topics, about ideas and questions that you have, and I'd love to hear from you, so please do use the forum to be more connected to us. We'd love to hear from you. And you can also come to my site, intuitionbyrob.net, and pay attention to upcoming shows, and I have different challenges there, such as using your intuition to connect with historical figures, and occasionally I have other contests and challenges like what's the secret object in the bag, which I'll probably bring back soon to do on occasion, so that you can start to really pay attention and connect with your intuition. So intuitionbyrob.net, and I offer all the tools and techniques that I talk about here and there, so it's a good way to connect with things that you're interested in. And also, I provide links back here, back to Awakened Radio from intuitionbyrob.net, so you can connect to my forum page, my show page, the Awakened Radio store, and of course, my Facebook and Twitter accounts. Now, we have about 10 days to the new publication of Thrive magazine. We just published this month's issue, but November 10th will be a double issue. So if you have articles, art or poetry or stories related to the holidays, we'd love to hear from you, and we'll have it published in our magazine for free to you, and we'll post your bio and links back to your site. So it's really a great way to share your creativity with a larger audience than you're sharing now. You can also find my book on Amazon. It's called Your Life Counts. It's all about working with numerology and your life path to be more conscious of your life. And it doesn't have to be vocationally related, although it might be. It's simply really learning to listen to your heart, as I've been talking about here throughout the year, to, no matter your age, to begin taking steps towards living your life in ways that matter. Now, if you'd like, and you find it in your heart, you can donate to Awakened Radio by clicking on the donate buttons at the top of most of the screens, especially if you enjoyed our shows. We're largely host and listener supported, so donations are always greatly appreciated. We're here at no cost to you, so please find it in your heart to click the button. And again, we're not asking for your grocery money, just whatever you have in your heart to affordably give. You can also be a sponsor here at Awakened Radio, and your 30-second spot will be played 3 times during the show. And then when the show is archived to iTunes, we don't edit it out. It'll be in there, so if you have a business related to well-being, spirituality, or has an uplifting message, especially around health or physicality, please do feel free to sponsor this show or one of the other shows here at Awakened Radio. And of course, you can buy all different kinds of things here and support us at Awakened Radio. In the store, we have dream catchers and gemstones, healing kits. You can get readings from me, from Donna, Ingrid, maybe a few of the other hosts, I don't know. And you can also connect to I have meditations there as well, so please feel free to come to the Awakened Radio store and connect with those. A lot of the meditations that I've done during the show or in addition to the show to help you deepen to your own intuition. So thank you for listening tonight. Stay tuned next week for another show. I believe that's Halloween, so we'll probably have to talk about something scary, maybe fear. Tune in, 10 p.m.
You won't catch us sleeping through the fight at night. For all eyes open, showing our inside and light so bright. We are awakened. Come and join our love, it's so right. If you could feel what we feel now, you'd be a leader filled with might. Cause we're awakened. You won't catch us sleeping through the fight.